Hi, welcome back to rally.nor overland project. It's been some crazy busy days, and therefore there have not been any time to do any videos and stuff like that. Today we are going to roll on with the bar installation. As you remember, the ProTaper bar that I purchased just by feeling, really. I just had a look at it, and yeah, well, I thought this might just fit well to my rally. So before we go in more into this ProTaper bar, I have to explain something that you have to consider when you are going to choose for a bar like this. So we have a lot of angles to think about. First of all, we have the width of the steering. This bar is, I think it's 80 centimeters. That's exactly the same width as the original bar is, 80 centimeters. Then we have the height. The height goes from where your clamp area is and up to the upper level of the bar. And I don't remember exactly how high this is, but I think it's about 40 centimeters. 14 centimeters. After that we have the rise. The rise is from the bottom area, like here, and up to this, the angle, this here. So this is the rise. After that we have the clamp area, this part. We have the sweep. The sweep is actually when you turn the bar over like this, you have a straight line here, but the sweep is the angle of the control area. For the most part leaning backwards, of course, so the sweep will tell you something about how much it's bent backwards. Now, we are going back to the sweep, but first of all, this is the control area. This is the length of the control area where you have your handlebars. Handlebars? Are you stupid? Your grips and your controls and all this stuff that you have in front here. So on this it's actually 20 centimeters, so that's actually a very long control area, and it's very important that you think about this when you are purchasing your handlebar, because you are going to put on some grips, you are going to have your controls, you might want to have your mirror clamp, and also maybe you have some additional switches and stuff like that. So all this area is very important if you are having a lot of stuff on the bar. Now back to this. The sweep, as I told you, it's how many centimeters. If this was is a straight line like this, how many centimeters from here to here? On this bar it's 4 centimeters. That's not a lot, so therefore it's not very bent backwards. But 4 or 5 centimeter sweep doesn't say anything, because it's all depends on your control area. So if the length of the control area is very long and your sweep is only 4 centimeters like this, it doesn't say that you got a different angle if your control area is only 17 centimeters and your sweep is also 4 centimeters. Then the angle will be a lot more, actually. So there is a lot of mathematics going on here, and I hope that you will just think about it and sort it out, because it's a lot of things to think about. So, but I've been waiting a long time to do this now, because as you all know, on the CRF 250, when you are moving the controls over to the new bar, you have to drill 2 holes in it. The holes that are holding this in place, so that it won't just go back and forth, and that's not that doesn't come without some thinking, because if you're going to use the original grips, then it's okay. Then you can just measure out from the end and to where the hole is going. But if you are going to change the grips, there might be some different sizes of grips in the length. So that also means that you have to actually move the hole for the controls further in or out, whatever it is. But that's why I have been waiting so long, because I have thought a lot of what kind of grips I want, and for a lot of people there is only one option to go for, and especially here in the northern part of Europe and elsewhere in the world, of course, wherever you are, there's cold weather, you have wind conditions, you have rain, you have all this stuff, and you might want some heated grips. So you can buy your heated grips, just install them and just wire them to some power output, and they are ready to go. That's mostly what many does. For instance, the Oxford grips, very good heated grips. They are only just plug and play once you have got them on your bar, and I think that's of course that's a very good product, so nothing to say about that. But my take on it is a little bit different, because I'm not going with the prefabricated grips with the heat. I'm actually going for my own grips, and I'm going to put heat inside them. That is what I've done to pretty much all my bikes the last years. I've had some new motorbikes that comes with the heated grips as standard, and of course I'm not going to do anything about that. But when I'm installing my own grips, and especially for this bike, I'm going to put in some heating and do some stuff about that. I'm going to show you right now. Okay, I'll put this aside and I'll show you. What I've been waiting for so long is actually the grips that I'm going to use to come. And when you order online, you know, like in eBay or AliExpress or whatever, you never know what you are going to get, because mostly they are from China. You don't have the option to look at them, feel them, and all this stuff. So yeah, it's been a couple of bummers, so to say. First, I ordered these. These are Chinese fake ProTaper grips. Now, on picture they look good, but you know, I've been stupid enough to just say, yeah, I'll take them, I'll try them, and it's nothing about how long they are. So you can see here by yourself, putting in them aside with the original, they are actually about 1 centimeter shorter and of very poor quality products. So I just discarded them like this, and I went online and I just ordered some other grips that I might want to use. So I ended up with this. Looks great. They have you know, the waffle pattern. They even got 2 of these slots for the lock thread, so that you can tighten up and just make sure that they sit in place. Not too bad, but you know, measuring them, oh yeah, they're also 1 centimeter shorter. You know, it's very important, because I have not any big hands. I got small hands, but when I hold this, it's, you know, it's not much. You can see that. And these are just some ordinary gloves, but if I have some winter gloves for driving, it's nothing. And now think about it. If I cut this off the end, and I have some hand guards here, I have no space for my hands. There's nothing left. I can't get, I just couldn't fit my hands in there, because it would be too tight, and yeah, that would not be a good idea. So once again, off they went. And now, finally, today I got some real grips. Now, this is the Pro Grip Rally, and I have to say, I've never seen this in a shop or anything. I never had them before, but of course, if you know Lyndon Poskett, you just search for him and you'll understand who I'm talking about. On his Basso bike and the other bike, actually, I thought this was looking pretty much like the ones that he uses on his bike, and yeah, I can tell you, these are the ones. Now this, I got this very cheap on eBay. Actually, I think I was pretty lucky. I got this for $20, and that was even paid for shipping. So $20 in my mailbox, no other charges. I think that was really a good deal, a really good deal. Now I'm going to take this out and I'm going to show you. And first thing I can feel, they just stick to my hand. They are so, you know, they just stick in there. And there are 3 slots here. 3 slots for locking thread, lock wire, and there's also an additional slot here, so that you can actually cut off your end to mount your hand guards. So look at this, they are even, I would say, 5 centimeters longer, no, 5 millimeters longer with the end cap, and when I cut it, they will be pretty much the same as the originals. So I'm going to stick with this, and now I just have to figure out and measure where am I going to drill my holes in the new bar, the ProTaper bar, and we are going to add some heat in here too. Now, also in here, sticker. Everybody knows that the more stickers you have, the better your bike performs. So that's cool too. Okay. So, how am I going to heat my grips? I bet many of you have seen this before. But here are 2 options. They are quite the same, but same but different. These are just small pads, or what should I say? They come like this. There are paper thin heating, what do you call them? I don't know. But anyway, these are going to be fitted under the grip, between the bar and the grip, and it comes already with a switch off, 1 and 2. So there are 2 different watts or heatings, and the other one has also the same switch, but only on and off. So which am I going to use, and why am I going to use this, you might ask. First of all, as I said, many new bikes come pre-installed with the heated grips, and they are just fine. The Oxfords are also fine, but for me there are 2 things, or many things. First of all, if you buy the Oxford, they are often feeling quite thicker, because they have all the heat elements inside the grip, and therefore there will be a lot more volume to the grip. And with my small hands, I prefer to use this, and therefore my grip stays smaller in diameter, and to me it feels like I get a better hold of the bike, and also more control of the bike in that way. So why would I go for this? And also another question, why do you want heated grips? I go for this because I can easily just put 1 or 2 of these heat elements with my spare parts kit, and I can actually repair them if I need to. wherever I go. If they are broken, I can repair them. If I have the Oxford grips, I might not be able to repair them. And another thing is, I had a motorbike with the standard heated grips from the fabric. One of the grips, the cable that went into the heating element inside the grip broke off, and there was no way that I was able to solder any new wiring to it, so I had to use one heat element like this. So on this side I have the heat element, and this side had the original heat grip from the manufacturer. What happened was that this had a different watt to it than the original, and by adjusting the click 1 or 2, there were actually, this became, this is a very cold winter. Actually, it was -20 degrees. I was going from Oslo to Ålesund and Ålesund and back. That is 630 kilometers one way in January in -20. So effectively, down to 28 minus, and effectively it was like 58 minus degrees, so that was very cold. But the thing was, I had to put a switch to full, and that meant that my original grip became very comfortable, and this became too hot. It actually became so hot that I got a 2nd degree burn in my hand with big blisters all over. But when you are traveling by motorcycle in 28 degrees minus, you have a lot of thinking, because then you just find out that it's actually a lot better to get burned than to get frozen your hands off. So by installing this, I can bring some extras and I can change them, and they will be just the same strength on both sides. That's why. Well, yeah, just had to say that. Now, why heated grips? Of course, in some areas in the world, you never have to worry about heated grips. You will actually more likely have some cold grips if you can have some. But heated grips for comfort, of course, it's you know, it's likely when you are a bit freezy, it's like, it's comfortable with some heated grips. But this is seriously, when you are driving, especially when it's freezing cold, I'm talking about here in Norway, for example, winter driving, and it's actually that cold that's, you know, it's not like this anymore. It's like, I can't use my hands anymore. It's like that. That's when you are into trouble. When you are driving, and maybe for many hours, your hands getting cold, you know, you get the nails almost popping off, it feels like, oh. What happens is that your whole body is cold. So when your body and brain understands that, hey, I just can't keep these fingers warm anymore, what the brain actually does, it's cutting off your bloodstream. Then your brain says, hey, I don't care about your fingers anymore. I'm going to take care of your intestines and stuff inside, you know, your brain and stuff. Keep that warm, your torso and upper body, and I just don't give a damn in the rest, you know. And as you sit there, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, you know, and you don't have any blood in your arms or hands, and suddenly there comes a car and it pops out in front of you, or a football or whatever, and you have to do something. Maybe you have to brake, maybe you have to clutch or whatever, and you know, there's no blood in your hands, so you know, all your muscles, they're just gone. They don't function anymore. You can't do it. Your reaction is very slow, and it's actually that time when you happen to go into a life-threatening situation. So keep your hands warm. It's very important, and it's also a source of heat to the rest of your body, because when your hands are transporting warmth, it goes also up in your upper and lower arm and stuff like that. So it's important to stay warm on your hands in the winter time. You can also have some muffs to put your hands inside and keep all the weather. Maybe it's snowing, blowing, you know, it's cold, then it's very comfortable inside, and you're going to have a much more pleasant ride. So these are the ones that I'm going for. In my repair kit, I always have some cables. I have some, you know, some usable stuff. You know, I have some cable, tape, wirings, you know, stuff that makes it easy to fix this if there is a problem. So now I'm going to just measure out where I'm going to drill the holes, and I guess that in the next video we will talk a little bit more about, yeah, what happened, where this is going. Actually looking forward to it. The summer is coming into Norway very soon. Most of the snow outside here is now melting, and yeah, it's absolutely time to drive off and try this setup. Really interesting, and with the right grips too, this is going to be a very comfy ride, and I'm absolutely looking forward to it. Another thing, you know, I'm also going to attach or do the wiring into the auxiliary output. We talked about this last time, I think. This way is going to switch the power outlet, so when I turn off the engine or the switch, also turn off the heated grip, and therefore I will not empty my battery. And you don't want to empty your battery, ever. Okay. Please keep following, and I'll catch you in the next one. I just got to film this to show you because, as you know, it was yeah, a bit daring to order this ProTaper bar for the 250 Rally or L model. In the ProTaper table, we talked about, you remember I talked about the clamp area, which goes about here, in the table it says that it's 184 millimeters, and if you can see here now, 184 millimeters, that should have been way much more. So actually ProTaper are measuring from around here, but the clamp area, which when I think about it is from this edge to this edge, and then it shouldn't be more than 120 millimeters. The result of this is something like, I'll show you on the other side. Let's see if I can get some light in here too. Yeah, you can see the gap underneath the bar. That's not so cool. Now I haven't tightened all up, so I guess it's a lot of compression to be done still, but you know, this is not so good. So what I might gonna have to do is, if I want to use this bar, I will take this bridge off and I'll file it right here, just to accommodate the bend here. That's kind of a risky thing to do. I don't know, I will certainly not recommend anyone to do this if they don't feel okay with it. So maybe another solution is better, but I think I'll just stick to this bar, and worst thing that I can have to do is to change out these bridges. Okay.